Anderson up quickly. 49ers getting a late substitute. Anderson puts the man in motion. Again gets to Johnson and he gets down close. Looks like he's about a half yard short. Ball inside the 1. Johnson again. Yep. This time he is hit by Jack Reynolds and knocked backwards, if you can believe that. 11th play in this drive coming up. Anderson will look and throw. Alexander does not get in. They give the shot there, I don't know. The 49ers don't think he made it. Who's on the bottom of that pile? Jack Reynolds again. Number 64. That's a team effort for San Francisco's defense.
Craig Patterson's way to the goal line. He goes in for a 49er touchdown. And the 49ers are leaving the Miami Dolphins far to the rear now.
Weiss has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana, touchdown, John Taylor.
Hey, this is complete domination. The 49er offense has beaten the Denver Bronco defense every way it's...
From the 44, they fake it to Floyd. Young to the air. Young to Jerry Rice. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Well, that's quite a statement their defense made. To handle the middle of the football field. And Frank, I have dumbfounded as to what they're doing.
Good move to the outside on Carrington.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithful, season 9, baby. Oh man, I can't believe I've been doing this almost a decade, y'all. Like, I was just talking to Jason in the green room and everything, and kind of tripping out on on all this shit. Like, in a week, your boy's gonna be 39. Like, I'll be going into the last year of my 30s. Man, I never imagined I would say that, y'all. But here we are, almost a decade later, baby. Let's go. All right, so obviously we're going to break down some free agency. There is some Niner news to talk about and everything like that. Exciting day. Like, I think we're going to have to talk people off the ledge. Jason was telling me, Michael Parsons was saying and everything, and I'm with Jason. Beat us once, nigga, then come talk shit to us. And all this shit, and everybody's ready to jump off the bridge, and we suck and everything. Let's calm down, bro. Let's calm down. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Get to talking about some special things we got for season 9. We got some new sponsors for y'all. They didn't necessarily go into the countdown and stuff like that, and there's some that we're working on. I want to ask y'all opinion about, because we want to get sponsors that y'all want to support, and everything. We just don't want to get sponsors just to get sponsors. But of course, as always, ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages, let's get the show cracking.
Rice has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana, touchdown, John Taylor.
You're tuned into Niner Faithful Radio, the show hosted for the faithful, by the faithful.
What's cracking, Captain?
Hello for faithful. How's everybody doing, my brother?
Another day, another dollar. My dumb ass. So y'all don't know. Jason knows because I text everybody in the show, bro. But my dumb ass forgot to clock into work, dude. When I get to work, so I had to go to the bank anyway. So I go to the bank, and I go to the bank. Bank's not too far from work, right? So I'm like, fuck it, I'll smoke a cigarette. By the time I'm done with my cigarette, I'll be at work. So I get to work. The app's freaking out because it's like says I have like a 15-hour, 16-hour shift, right? So the app we use is freaking out and everything. We had to manipulate some things and everything. So your boy got paid for an hour today that I didn't even work. So we're gonna have to figure out how to, or 2 hours. My bad, because when it's California law. Once you clock in, they have to pay you for at least 2 hours.
Yep, same here.
So apparently, I don't know how we're going to do it, how we're going to manipulate the situation, but your boy got paid for 2 hours that he didn't even work today. So, but it's weird because it's freaking. I don't think it's going to work out that way, because the reason it was freaking out is because it saw that I clocked in today or clocked out, but I didn't have a clock in today. So it's like basically like, what the fuck? You didn't clock in, but how did you clock out? So I'm gonna have to deal with that tomorrow. Oh, God. That's gonna be
I've had stuff like that. It's fun.
Yeah, but it's like I will get paid for my whole shift yesterday, and so that's definitely what we're tripping about and everything like that. But how's free agency treating you so far, bro?
I like it. I am not understanding the doom and gloom, why everybody is freaking out and this and that. Look, other than the fact of we did lose a few players who are, I guess you could say, fan favorites, nothing should have been a surprise. Even Dre should not have been a big surprise. Do we kind of wish we'd gone harder after Dre to keep him here? I think everybody would say yes. That said, him leaving was always a very distinct possibility. should not have come as a surprise.
I mean, I think it's because Dre and who Dre was, and it's big play Dre, and we all know why these jerseys are famous in Niner, or the jerseys that this is patterned after are famous in Niner history, at least recent Niner history. We all know that. Okay, it's big play Dre, bro. I will go down as saying that if we beat the Seahawks Week 9 in 2019, Dre Greenlaw is known as the Sheecock Killer. People seem to forget that because the field goal was missed, it was Dre that picked that ball off that even got us in the position to get close to a field goal, to even attempt to win a field goal of the game. And honestly, truthfully, I remember watching, because I was out in the other smoking section, not the main smoking section, but the other smoking section, having a cigarette, watching on the Jumbotron, and I thought Dre was going to score and everything like that. And so we all know big play Dre and everything like that, but people have been coming out and telling us this, like, Dre's gone, Dre's gone, Dre's gone. We just didn't want to believe it, which is understandable. Look, I get my feelings about this football team too. I didn't want to. Dre Greenlaw was my rookie to watch. You feel me? I
remember you talking him up big time that training camp.
I was a huge Dre Greenlaw fan when we drafted him. A former group home kid. My heart is always going to go with us former group home kids. You know what I'm saying? Because we go through shit that, guess what? Unless you go through it, or you're like your mom was a foster mom or something like that. Unless you're involved with, and even foster care is different than a group home. You're not gonna understand what it's like. So my heart always attaches to people who are group home kids. But we were warned about this. You and I were talking in the green room, Jason. What do we say all the time? Fuck what they say, fuck what we say, look at what they do. But this time I will change it. John Lynch told us this was coming.
He sure did.
And then all of a sudden, when we're executing what he very distinctly, and look, I don't think the plan's over. Because if you look back at that quote, and it was, I remember when he gave that quote, and the good thing about this is we're getting younger and cheaper. People have now, put two and two together, because Chase Sr. had asked him, hey, what's up with this BA trade? And then he goes into that rant about how we're getting younger and cheaper. Let's be real. They're trying to trade BA.
Well, I don't necessarily think they're trying to trade BA, but I think if you give them the right amount, they're very open to trading BA. Especially we talked about before when I said BA may not be the best option for the 49ers in 2025.
No.
Because of his health.
This is, or even 2026.
Yeah. Well, who knows how he's going to heal.
This is how what I've said, and I know how everybody feels about him, and I'm not going to lie. Even when I was watching Grant with Larry on this show, he was a little irritating, and he seemed to be, reveling in the quote unquote Niners falling apart and all that.
Yeah, he's beating off him right now.
Yeah. He's insufferable.
That's also Tuesday.
But he did bring up a very valid point that I can't ignore. And he said, basically, he believes they wanted to do this last year. They wanted to basically bite the bullet, eat all this dead money. I mean, the Niners are give us the dead money, right? We're cleaning up the books. Give us all the dead money right now. Yeah. And the Niners wanted to do it. And it was Kyle saying, no, let's run it back. And of course it blows up in our face. We all know. And so in my hearts of hearts, I still find it very hard to believe that we're packing it in a season where we have a last place. I mean, you and I said it all last season, once things went awry. And so far this offseason, I guess technically the offseason only started today. But, since the end of last season, we've been saying it all, is that if we don't end the quest for 6 this year, then when are we going to do it? Because we're probably not going to have, at least under the Lynchahan regime, we are probably not going to have a better opportunity than this. As far as the way the schedule sets up, you know, the chance that we could possibly not leave fucking our facility since you know, from the last road game until basically the rest of all the things that we talked about lining up. I still find it very hard to believe that the Niners are just like, yeah, we're going to give all that up and we'll see y'all in 2026.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I find that very hard to believe. Are we a better football team today than we were, you know, at this point last year? No, we're not.
Well, no, we have no defensive line right now.
Yeah, but there's actually somebody, when I told you moves that could be coming, there's somebody, I need to make sure I look him up to get the name right. But there's somebody that I really honestly think the Niners are looking at hiring or signing. But yeah, so no, we're not a better football team than we are today, Jason. If we lined up today, we would be a worse football team than when the first snaps were taken in 2024. But guess what? We ain't got to line up for another fucking 6 months.
Yeah, we still got some more signings. We got, you know, the draft coming up.
Which, do you have a list of the comp picks or should I pull that up?
I do not have it up right now.
Okay, I got it. So exactly. So that we're gonna get to y'all. We're gonna get y'all the draft picks too, because that was officially handed out yesterday. Not as good as
originally thought.
But very cool. Yeah, so this is official. But yeah, so I'm of the mind that yeah, we are a worse football team than we were.
You got it?
24 hours ago or 48. Yeah, I got it. 48 hours ago. Yes, we are a worse football team than we were. But that's okay because we don't got to line up for another 6 months.
What's up, Steve-O?
Judges.
How's it, Kenny?
What's cracking, everybody? Huh. Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, Steve-O told me about that a while, and I keep forgetting I was going to talk to you about that, but since we're going to be talking anyways after the show, we might as well talk about it.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Anyway, well, I'm keeping the intro because I like the intro. Well, anyway, we'll talk about off air because I found out some interesting information yesterday when I was digging through some numbers and stuff. Anyway, so no, we're not a better football team. We are a worse football team, but that's okay. How many times did we say D-line, 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 D-line in the draft? Mm-hmm. You know? How many people have said, you know, D-line, D-line, D-line in the draft? Linebacker of the draft. You and I talked about that. So am I sad? Yes, I am sad. I hate to say Dre go. But let's look back and say, why was Dre Greenlaw under this current contract? Dre was going to test free agency in 2022, after 2022. And then what happened? He gets hurt, and right before the Chicago game, signs the extension that expired today. Why? Because he got hurt. And he said, you know what? I'm not going through this year on a lame duck contract and everything. You know what? Let me go ahead and just sign that contract y'all had for me a few days ago. Yeah. And that's how. And so, as much as we love him, as much as he was big play Dre, and yes, that defense was fucking different in that Yams game. It was. It was kind of like where's Walt? Like where was this all year? This is the football team we expected to see, or at least the defense we expected to see. But Dre got hurt a lot. He did, and
it's the byproduct of playing as physical as you play.
It is. And how many times do we say, Jason, 60 games in 3 years is going to take a toll?
Mhm. I know a lot of people don't want to
and-
listen to it; they want to hear it. But it is true. When you play that much,
they didn't want, of course, they didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear it because they wanted to win a championship last year. I get it. So did I. We all did. But 60 games in 3 years takes a toll. And so you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't bitch that the Niners are already. Let's be real. The 2 years we haven't made the playoffs since 2019. What has happened? Injuries. Right? More so 2020. I felt was more injuries in 2020. But we said it. At no point was the offense, as we saw it, on the field at the same time last year. There was not one single snap that the full entire offense took a snap together. Same with the defense,
which is nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Absolutely insane. But so same with the defense. Our defense was never on the field because Dre didn't come back, and at that point, people were already out. And so, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say the Niners need to stop being hurt and then keep players that consistently have shown that they get hurt, no matter how much we love them. You can't do that. You got to have one or the other. You got to keep Dre and just understand that he's going to miss 3, 4, 5, 6 games a year. And let's be real. Yeah, he looked amazing, but he didn't exactly prove that he would stay healthy last year. The man lasted, 38 snaps? It was like 36. It was like 26 in the Yams game and like 10 snaps in the Dolphins game before the Niners.
30-ish.
Before the Niners said, "Okay, we're shutting this shit down because you have a calf injury," and we all learned how mysteriously calves can turn into it's Achilles tendonitis. Yeah,
both legs.
We learned that last year, so it was very clear that the Niners, which is spot on for the Niners, because clearly it's going to benefit. Shutting down Dre and not risking further injury last year is not going to benefit the Niners. It's going to benefit the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
So good on for the Niners for looking out for Dre. They didn't have to do that, especially secretly. Did I think that they knew that he was going to leave? I think they had a strong suspicion.
Well, yeah, because he wanted to be out in 2022, and he's made it kind of known he wants to lead his own defense, which I get.
Yeah. So love you, Dre. Why don't we go ahead and go through this? We'll go ahead and we'll go through the Niners moves that they made. Or you know what? One thing I decided to do now, bruh, is we're not going to run the ads at the beginning of the shows. We'll find a kind of midway, a good 5 point to do it. So why don't we go ahead and why don't we run our ads right now, pay some bills. We'll come back. We'll go through the additions and subtractions and wrap the rest of the show up.
Sounds good.
Founded and backed by the GOAT himself, Goat Fuel is a great tasting energy drink without the crash. Use our affiliate link below to save 10% on all Goat Fuel energy drinks. Help out the show and save 10% at the official Niner online store by using our affiliate link in the description below. Go to seatgiant.ca to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. The website again, seatgiant.ca, promo code NinerFaithfulRadio. Follow us on social media at Niner Faithful Radio on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and TikTok, and at Niner Faithful R on. Yeah, not bad for shooting those commercials at fucking 2:00 in the morning after I had been at shit all day.
Hey, at least you weren't screaming in these ones.
Because it was at 2 a.m. and I was fucking exhausted. Anyway, so yeah, big shout out to all the sponsors and everything like that. We appreciate y'all. Make sure to go to Goat Fuel. It's still available, those Jerry Rice cans.
I've got like 40 of them here in my house right now.
We still got the ones that we're giving away. That's one of the things I want talk to you about exactly how we want to, work that in, giving away the Jerry Goat Fuel cans. But we will have an announcement for y'all next week on how you can win those and exactly.
Have you tried all the
what kind of
flavors yet?
I have not tried the pineapple, or what was the one? The cream.
The pineapple cream soda.
Yeah, the pineapple cream soda. I have not tried that one, but yes, I've tried all the other flavors. I like them. My favorite is probably the tropical berry, the one that Jerry,
the Jerry one,
the Jerry one. It's the red, or I want to say it's the pink one, because they had that flavor before.
Yeah, well, it's not
It's
red
just now
because red is
watermelon.
That's it. Yeah, watermelon.
Yeah. So the red one and the Jerry one,
black cherry ginger ale.
Yeah, I didn't like that. And
I liked it.
It tasted good. I shouldn't say I didn't like it. I like the flavor, but yeah, I can't walk around with the lime green can because I can't do that. I felt hella dirty drinking out that shit, my nigga. I ain't gonna lie to you. I felt so dirty. Everybody was looking at me, like everybody who knows me, like, bro, you see what color that can is, right? And I was like, shut up. I'm doing it for the sponsor. And Jerry. But yeah, anyway. So go fuel. Use our affiliate link. You save 10%. You help out the show, and not only do you support pretty much the faithful business, besides you also help out the show, and you that business, brother. And my supporting minority businesses is important. So go ahead and we'll start off with offense. The Niners went ahead and re-signed. What's up, my oos? Niners went ahead and re-signed guard Ben Bartch. I love it, Jason. Let's be real. As it stands, probably our starting left guard.
Minus someone being drafted, especially with some of the ways the draft has been, it's looking so far. Yeah, so far he's going to be our starting left tackle or to me guard, and I'm for it. At the very least, I find it to be an upgrade, and I'd like to see what Ben Bartch can do long term.
Yeah, the Niners have been on Ben Bartch for a while, and he looked good, mind you, in limited snaps because lo and behold, he got hurt. Fucking theme of last year, but he looked fine. And let's be real, left guard is, as long as things go the way that Niners hope and plan, left guard is going to be the least of our worries on this offensive line. Basically, your job's just not to get in Trenton's way. That's basically it. When you're left guard, your job is just to don't get in 71's way.
Basically.
Tight end, Luke Farrell, which, the more that I watch of him, the more I kind of see a little bit of a diamond in the rough. Like he's a blocking tight end. Let's be real. He's not going to take.
He's an old school tight end.
He's an old school tight end. But I do think there's some potential. Lombardi, of course, had his relative athletic score. I forget what it was. It was something like 7 or 8, I think. His relative athletic score. So I think that there's some untapped potential to catch a few balls this year and everything like that. And Jason had the best quote of the first day of free agency on Monday, or legal tampering period on Monday, when he said, "Let Kittle loose."
Let Kittle run. I mean, like I said, we've used Kittle for the last 5 years as the 6th offensive lineman because our line has been terrible. We've been trying to find somebody, through draft or free agency or whatever kind of thing, that's an actual good blocker, and we haven't. It just hasn't worked. Now we got one who's the second best blocking tight end in the league last year, and I'm not going to say he's as good of a blocker as Kittle is. Like, I don't necessarily think he's going to go around pancaking people, but what Luke Farrell does really do is that he gets in the way of people, i.e., kind of like how BA does. Like, BA wasn't necessarily a great blocker down the field. What's up,
Ferry numero uno?
But what Ferry did really good, what Farrell did really good, and same thing with BA, is they just kind of get in the way of the guy. You know what I mean? They put their hands on exactly, and that's all I want you to do. just stand in front of them and just move and that gives the runner, a way to go around. And he does that very well.
So yeah, I mean the one clip that's been going around, he sure as hell pancaked somebody. So yeah, I definitely
that's not
think
his
this
game.
is no. Let's be real. I believe it was a cry girl. So how hard is that?
It's probably
Might have been Marco Parsons. It wasn't. Look, let's be real. Michael Parsons ain't getting pancaked by this dude. Which is fine. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I don't need him to pancake. Let's be real, Jason. I mean, and when we talk about the departure and one that especially broke my heart, it's one of the biggest. We were dead last in the NFL, or pretty close to dead last in third and second or less situations. We could not, when the Niners needed 2 yards, right? Like that was almost in 23, that was automatic. Oh, the Niners are in 3rd and 2, we're getting this shit. Like
3rd and 5, we were good.
Yeah, you're not stopping this offense from getting 2 yards when we need 2 yards. And the two biggest problems because I think defensively, we could have been a playoff team. I think the reason we were not a playoff team last year was the offense. Biggest issues in the offense is when we needed to run the ball, we couldn't. In short yardage and red zone. We were atrocious.
We're soft.
And one of the things that has fired me up about the Linehan era the most, minus offensive line for some fucking reason, when this team has a need and it is as clear as day, they do not ignore it. And we were atrocious at running the football last year. And Kyle took that shit personal. Right? Like people are questioning Kyle. Kyle, for the first time in his 9-year tenure, has gotten some real hit. You and I were very critical of Kyle last year, and that's saying a lot because you and I are big Kyle supporters.
Mm-hmm.
And we were very critical. Like we were having legit questions last year, and Kyle took this personal. And Luke Farrell, I'm not saying, oh my God, Jason, buy your ticket, for mid-February, now, bruh, when it's still cheap, because Luke Farrell is no, we're not saying that. But we're saying that this team is going to be in the foreseeable future, while Brock is on a huge contract. This team is not going to be about superstars. It's not going to be you don't got the enough D to stop Kittle and BA and Debo and Juice. And, it's not going to be, it's going to be the sum of our parts. Right. And so by being the sum of our parts, Luke Farrell is an addition to that. He's not going to be a superstar A-lister, but he's going to be one of the parts that gets us to be whole. If I'm making sense to y'all.
No, I get you.
Your thoughts, Luke Farrell, Jason?
I like it. Like I said, I think he's going to be a great addition to the team.
All right, and then last one for me, I was a little shocked because he still has to get his punishment from the NFL for his DUI. But DeMarcus Robinson, we knew this. You and I talked about how they're going to go into the free agency. I wanted Boyd. I don't know. Did Boyd sign somewhere?
I don't know. I have no idea if he has. I haven't heard.
So the free agency tracker I have is by team. So we would literally have to go through every free agency signing to figure it out. So I don't know. I wanted Tyler Boyd. I've been wanting Tyler Boyd.
He's a Titan.
Son of a bitch. So and we all know my number one free agent, I'm doing back wheels. I'm fucking running up and down the street screaming, signed with the Colts and Drew Dolman.
Told you. Trying to tell everybody we're getting him.
Yeah, you know what, Jason? Monday, I'm a fan. I'm not Niner faithful, podcast host. I'm a fan, bro. I want us to decide big names and I want all that shit, bro. I wanted to jump into, but yeah, realistically, Jason, I think you are right. I think Matt Hennessy and Jake Brendel in the competition is where we're going. Clearly. Maybe a rookie, which
Drake Nugent, maybe somebody we draft. We still got options.
okay. Hold on, gotta reload.
Hell, as far as I'm concerned, we can just fucking have Brock just hike it to himself. Like, old school football is like that. I don't care, but like I've said a few times that if we go into next season with Brendel as our starting center, like I said, we can have all the competition in camp that we want and all that kind of stuff. If Brendel is the first center that goes out into the field 2025, we have failed this entire offseason.
Yeah, I fully. Oh, okay. Apparently, I'm Captain Niner right now. So yeah, I agree with you.
Apparently,
Jason.
we both are.
Yeah, I agree with you. No, I fully agree with you, bro. That cannot be the case. Yeah, going out with Jake Brendel cannot be the case because we're going to talk a little Brock here in a second. After we run through this, but I'm just changing my name real fast. So anyway, I like the move, because when somebody first listed the weapons, the Niners off weapons this year, and they said BA, Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, CMC, George Kittle. I'm not going to lie to you, brother. Yeah, I was in my feelings, but I was like, that the Niners are winning a championship with that.
That's not a bad type.
And I'm not saying that it's horrible. I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's just you're talking about a franchise that won championships with. Okay, mind you, I look. Let's be real. Dwight wasn't a superstar. Okay, but this team won Super Bowls with Jerry Rice and John Taylor, who I believe we might be talking about John Taylor as one of the greatest wide receivers ever to play. If he simply just didn't play on a team with the greatest.
Imagine had he gone to like.
I've asked him. I asked him. I said, Mr. Taylor. I asked him at Levi's one time. I said, Mr. Taylor, you could have gone to any other team in the NFL, and you would have been the man. Why didn't you leave? And he said, because it wasn't about being the man. It was about rings. Mm-hmm. And I said, that's why we fucking love you. Yep. That's why you have 3 rings, my son. Good son.
And if somebody by the name of Myles Garrett could get that message, you soft ass. I don't want to play here because we're not going to win championships. And all of a sudden, all I can hear right now is the $1 Million Man going, everybody's got a price.
Yeah. I mean, look, everybody says, would you turn down a $40 million check? Of course not, because we don't have fucking millions of dollars in the bank. But it's relative, Jason. Money's all relative, right? Like, once you get to a certain status, money's all relative.
Yeah.
Like I tell people, people say, oh, so-and-so's rich. Yeah, but half of your net wealth is half of your net wealth, no matter whether it's $1 or $1 billion. Half is half, Jason.
Yeah.
And look, and I'm not mad that Myles Garrett got paid. I'm not mad. Look, as a very pro-black person, I have to love a brother getting played. I have to love that a black family will now be taken care of for generations into the future.
As long as nobody's stupid, because that always happens.
As long as nobody's stupid, anybody connected with the Garrett family will no longer have to live in the hood and poverty and all that shit. That is a black family lifted out of poverty for generations. I fucking love that shit. Okay? But with that being said, it shows you what he's about, Jason. It does. It shows you what he's about.
He made such a spectacle of it too. Like,
the letter
basically went on tour. Yeah, the letter to the city. It's not that I don't love you guys, but I want to win a championship. And it's like, dude, okay. I'm thinking, you know what? He's going to be the one. Yeah, he's going to be the one guy that actually, you know what? I'm turning down money because I actually want to go win a championship.
Win a championship.
Guess what? Nope.
Hey, everybody has their price. Cool. Awesome. Not mad at you, brother. But man, Jason, he got me. Him and Max Crosby, too. Which I'll admit, Max Crosby, let's be real, he did some tweet. It wasn't like Max Crosby put a letter out there and did all that.
No.
Max Crosby was normal negotiations and showing and, posturing and all that. But, bruh, to think like for a second there, it was the possibility of Max Crosby or Myles Garrett being in red and gold, and we get fucking neither. Talk about one of the biggest letdown. Like, I was pondering, you and I talked, Jason, about how on the show about how literally if we got either one of those two, that this could be the best defense in NFL history. Do you know how many nights I spent daydreaming about that shit? What's cracking, media? Good to see you.
What's up, media? I still got all the streams up, brother, from this morning. me and Media and Wolfie have put in some time for free agency. We've been live like 7 to 8 hours every day. And
yeah, y'all been putting in the grind. Media, hit me up, bro. Let's discuss that. I'm off today, so let's go ahead and discuss that and see if we can start rolling. I'll talk to you about it after. Don't want to announce anything yet, but yeah, holla at me, bro, and let's get this. See if we can figure this out. Anyway, so Jason, go ahead and pull up the defense.
All right, let me go back over here.
And then I want to start getting into the departures after this.
Well, I've kind of got it all labeled.
That's what I'm saying. I saw what you did, bro.
Yeah. Let's go. All right, so moment of silence for everybody who is leaving real quickly. Obviously, we've got Dre and Huff being the two most sentimental. I think after that, you
your tease up, Jason.
One more time for the Huff.
For Huff Daddy.
Obviously, after them two, probably Ward, but we all kind of knew Ward. The whole.
He was not coming back, Brad.
I mean, he kind of left. By the way he worded it, is that
yes, he did.
It was left open. But let's be honest, his wife doesn't even want to be in the city anymore.
Dude,
all that kind of stuff. Like, dude, we get it. Go.
When you talk about waking up in sweats and having panic attacks and everything like that, it's time for you to move on, brother. Like, we love you.
And I get, like, there's no ill will at all.
Worth every single penny. Charvarius Ward was worth every single penny the Niners paid him. Yep. Minus last year, which, of course, we all understand. Charvarius Ward was a good Niner.
Yeah. And I'm willing to bet part of the reason why he didn't perform as well as he has been is because there was stuff going on behind the scenes with his daughter and his family that we just weren't privy to until she passed.
Until shit hit the fan.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm willing to put money on that. But anyways, good for him. I hope hope to see you at some point. In a reunion type thing. Then we lost the two guys we brought in the middle with Javon Hargraves and Malik Collins, and then the one that I'm curious about. Obviously, we did not get Nick Bosa.
Yes.
So glad, Joey Bosa. So glad we didn't get Joey Bosa. The one I'm curious about is that because the timing was really weird.
Yes.
We let Leonard Floyd go. And then all of a sudden, because I wonder if they thought we were really close to landing Joey. And now all of a sudden we don't get him. No, because they kind of would have. So the idea was to play him back, on the same side. You have Joey in for the run plays because he's a much better run defender than Leonard is. But then you bring Floyd in on passing downs, and I had come to accept it, but I still didn't like it per se. But that's it. So these are the guys we've lost on defense. So let's take a look at who we are bringing in.
Hold on, I had a quick thought. Defensively, thank God, because I was like, because like you and I have talked about the Joey Bosa situation forever, right? You and I have done that at nausea, and I was like, dude, are we really about to do it? And I'm not gonna lie, y'all know me. I wear my heart on my sleeve when it comes to the Niners. I start to get in my feelings. I start to get in my own head. y'all don't want to see the chats and how many times Jason and Jamie and Kim have had to talk me off of a fucking ledge, or going down with a pitchfork to fucking 49-49. Y'all don't know some of the conversations we've had in that chat when I'm ready to fucking go burn this bitch down. I was surprised about Malik Collins. I thought Malik Collins was fine. Like, yes, the run grades weren't the greatest, but for what he was, I'm not shocked when they tell you, Jason, and they're showing you, we are going to get younger. You cut a 32-year-old defensive lineman. Shocker. But I thought Malik Collins was fine. When letting go of Leonard Floyd, if we would have signed Nick Bosa, wouldn't have shocked me.
No,
right? That's actually almost what I would have expected. But honestly, I'm shocked because I thought, Leonard Floyd was not signed to be the superstar, right?
Nope.
If you would have told me it was either 8 or 8.5 sacks.
Yeah, 8.5.
Leonard Floyd, take that to the fucking bank, Jason.
He averages 10 a year. He got 10.5. He started
8.5.
8.5 was slow to get started, mostly because he was playing way too much. He was playing like 50 snaps a game. But
I don't think he was fully healthy to start the season. I think he still had some shit from the. Remember, he got hurt in the preseason.
Yep.
So I would take 8 sacks from Leonard Floyd right the fuck now. This one, I ain't gonna lie. This one irked me, bro. This one irked me because there's another. Let me see. I know he was with.
He didn't knock it down, Joey.
That's. Let's be real, bro. He would have. Joey Bosa is a downgrade from Leonard Floyd.
At this point in his career, yes, I believe he is.
And what upset me the most was the conflicting message, right? You cut Juice, you cut fucking, you trade Debo and all these things. Fine, cool, we accept it. It is what it is. And you say we're getting younger. I understand. Football's a young man's game. We were literally the oldest team in the NFL last year. Mileage is real. 60 games in 3 years. That shit's real, Jason. Right? We talked about it all last year. I'm on board. Okay, get younger. Cool. But then you cut Leonard Floyd, who I thought was fine for what he is, to get an now only 29. Okay, only 29. But an older player who is a downgrade. Well, what does that tell you? They were interested in selling jerseys. They were interested in the Bosa brothers and the not trying to soften the blow from what was not going to be a great season.
It was a marketing ploy.
It was what I felt. And that's why I got as upset as I did, because I was like, okay, bro, you're not going for it. You don't, you're doing this, so it's something to keep the fans engaged because you don't think it's going to be the world's greatest season. Now, I think that's wrong because I think there's been moves and go ahead and offensively, I didn't do the offensive slide, but one last time on the count of 3, can we all get a juice chant? 1, 2, 3. Juice! Man, it is not going to be the same at the Field of Jeans without number 44, brother.
Yeah.
That shit hurt. I ain't gonna lie. I was in my feelings about that one. But remove my Niner hat, get out of my feelings. It needed to happen, bro. We could not run the ball last year.
Yep.
And I hate to say it because I love him. The juice was worth the squeeze. A lot of it landed on Juice. the run game issues. Also, I forgot to add this. I can't believe I didn't add this. We did tender Jordan Mason, JP Mason, a second round tender. That's what I would have done.
Yep.
That's about what he is. Now, could he still get traded? Yes. Could he still sign another team? Look, if you want to
We
give
did
us
that
a
with
second
somebody else not too long ago. We tendered him and then traded him later.
Matt Breida.
Yes, there you
go. Look, if you want to sign JP Mason right now and shoot us that second round pick, please. You know, I'm fully cool with. Look, I want to make this clear, and I'll let you put your thoughts into it, Jason. I want JP Mason on the Niners.
Yeah.
But if somebody wants to give us a second round pick and save us five or 6 million on the cap this year, fully guaranteed, I'm not opposed to that, bruh. If somebody wants to shoot us a third or a fourth, you know, and says, hey, we're not going to sign him. We're not going to give you a second, but we'll give you a third or a fourth. I don't love a fourth. I don't.
No, I think it's definitely more than that.
Especially considering that if he's traded, you know damn well one of these comp picks, which we'll get to in a second, one of these comp picks is going to be spent on a running back. Like we're drafting a running back if JP Mason's traded.
Easily.
Still might fucking draft one, but we're definitely 1,000% drafting one if JP Mason is traded. So I want JP Mason on the team. I'm assuming you do too, Jason. But yeah, if you want to give me a second or a third, I'm not going to turn that down.
No, not at all.
Lastly, so we have went ahead and I'll let you talk more about the division, you know, free agency signings, because I do think there's some teams.
I haven't really been paying attention to them, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, I got the list right here, so we're all good. Anyway, real quick, our comp picks, we went ahead and got a third round, 100 overall. We picked up 138, which is a fourth rounder. The Commanders' pick for the Debo trade is official, and it is pick 147. And then we got a seventh round from the Panthers. I do not know how we got that one. And then two seventh rounders, 249, yes, and 252. Both are comp picks. That sucks. That fourth would have been, I don't know which one was supposed to be the fourth rounder, whether it's 249 or 252. Well, I don't know which one. It's 249 or 252.
Oh, gotcha.
But one of those would have been nice as a fourth rounder. But 11 picks. Yeah, Jason, time to get younger.
And I'm hoping we turn that 11 into like 13 to 14 picks.
Give me 15. If you could give me 15 picks, if you tell me we don't select 11, maybe 20, 25, whatever. If you tell me that we don't select it at 11 and we don't pick until like 25, but we get a total of 15 picks throughout this draft, I would take that right now.
Yeah, I would take it. I would love it, especially if we can get drop back from 11 to like 20ish and still pick up a top 100 pick, like somewhere like mid to late third round. Great, I would absolutely love that.
Especially considering as a couple weeks we're gonna go through. We got two more Tuesday shows. We'll be back on Tuesday next week, y'all. We got 2 more Tuesday shows, and then we will start our draft coverage. We'll start breaking that down. Not this Friday, but next Friday I will be getting the PFF subscription, as long as it's still around $100. I'll be picking that up, so we'll have the draft guide and all that shit, hopefully, to prepare for or prepare with. So yeah, I'm all about that, Jason. Yeah, if you could give me an extra third rounder, Late second.
So, well, the problem with the second part, and Chapman did this, was that he went through anybody who's been at number 11 and has traded down. Never in the history of the NFL draft has anyone got a second for it. The highest you get is somewhere in the mid third.
Mid thirds.
So, like I said, if we got a mid to late third round, I'm good with it. I mean, obviously, would I prefer the second? Yes. And if you play with PFF, like the draft board, it'll give you that second, but realistically, you're not going to get it.
Yeah, we're not getting. I mean, in the history of the draft, Jason, that tells you some shit. Like, you know, I don't think there's any teams out there that are that stupid to do something that's never been done in the history of the NFL draft. Like, yeah, that's crazy. So, yeah, I love that, especially if Mimbu's not there.
Yeah,
you know that's officially
I saw him going
of,
in a mock draft at number 4, and I was like, holy hell!
Fuck, damn,
he's rising like crazy.
He is. He's you know what? Let's be real. The Niners' best hope to get him is he's that player that rises in the mock draft community and amongst fans and everything like that. Because of everything, but teams still look at him the same. Like if you loved him, you loved him. If you were like out on him, you were out on him. Or if you were out on him, maybe you would look at him at the right, spot kind of thing. And that's the Niners' best hope to get him. Because if he rises like he is in the mock draft and draft coverage community, he's not going to be there at 11. All right. Lastly, we got the picks done. Who did we lose off? Okay, so defensively, divisionally, Jacoby Brissett signed with the Cardinals. Zay Jones, nobody of really big note. The Yams re-signed Jimmy. They restructured Matt Stafford. Re-signed Tutu Atwell. I ain't gonna lie, that was somebody that if he would have gone in free agency,
I wouldn't mind Tutu.
I would have definitely liked Tutu. Devontae Adams. I don't know, bro. Like
they got rid of Cup for
Devontae
Adams. I'm like, yeah, you didn't do anything.
Do you want us to? Do you want us to do Cup? Do you want?
I'm not against it per se, but we already the right price. Plus, we already got the Marcus Robinson. Like at that point, where do we fit in? You know what I mean? Like if we had gotten Cup instead of the Marcus Robinson, great. But at this point, right now, he doesn't. There's just too much on the roster.
Okay, I want to just quick off topic, and then we'll get back to this and everything like that. BA, I believe BA has already had his checkup, or it's coming soon. And if we don't hear anything about it, it's not good.
Or it could be good news. So
if it's good news, if BA is ahead of schedule, or they're like, no, he's going to make a full recovery, the Niners are going to scream it from across the top of Levi's.
The Ayuk need checkup.
I know it was close to free agency. It was either slightly before or slightly after.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, what?
February 27th.
Why Jason looks?
Let's see if I can find a date.
I know it was sometime soon. Anyway, real quick, we'll run through it. Poona Ford. I'm not gonna lie, them signing Poona
that makes that defensive line fucking dope.
Their defensive line's legit, bruh. And which even makes the Niners ignoring Chapman had put when that's how I knew Drew Dolman had signed with the Colts, because when it happened, Chapman had put if the offensive line is he put I told you or something like that. He put if the offensive line is a priority, you address it. Right? The Niners clearly don't look at the offensive line as a what's up, Miss Teresa?
What's up, Miss Teresa?
Long time no see.
How you doing?
Everything good? So they had said that, if the offensive line is a priority, you address it. The Niners clearly don't view the offensive line as a priority. With the Yams getting their defensive line better, that's
Okay, so the only thing that they've said about BA's knee
Mhm.
is that he has a benchmark test coming up in the next couple weeks, and this is Lynch speaking.
Yeah.
But they haven't given a date. Yeah,
At the combine.
but they haven't given a date.
Okay. It was at the combine.
But no
Okay.
one's. We
Okay.
don't know if it's.
So it could have not happened.
Yeah, we don't know if it's tomorrow or whatever kind of thing.
If we don't hear, if it comes April and we haven't heard, his benchmark test was great and everything that's an issue. Them getting Puna Ford, I'm not gonna lie, Jason. That's
that was a big one.
That's not good. It's not good that the Yams picked up Puna Ford. Obviously we've talked about us. Okay, I'm gonna save a Pacific name that the Shecox got for last because I know how Jason's gonna be about this one, so we're gonna save that for last. But Marcus Van they obviously traded DK Metcalf and Geno Smith. Them trading DK Metcalf is a bad thing for the Niners because I loved playing DK Metcalf.
Well, he went to the Steelers. The Steelers already had a head case in George Pickens for a wide receiver. Now you've got two diva-ass wide receivers, and you might add Aaron Rodgers to that mix. Man, that's good. It's not going to be the Steel City. It's going to be the Crash Out City.
Hey, I'll admit this. They have dealt with AJ Brown.
Yeah, but you don't want three.
Or not AJ Brown.
I know you're talking about
Antonio Brown.
Now you have three Antonio Browns on that team, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but three of them niggas still might not equal what Antonio Brown was, bro. Anyway, I like Marcus Van Scouting.
Yeah, he's not bad.
I think that's a nice little pickup for them.
Well, they had nobody else but Jay.
Not at the level of DK Metcalf. Yeah,
Jackson
Jigba or
Smith
whatever his name is.
And Jigba.
And Jigba. Yeah. So, wow, I actually clicked off of it. Yeah, I agree, Miss Teresa. The NFC is looking like, somebody had posted the NFC's gotten a little younger, and so it is going to be a interesting 25. Jaden Reed and Ernest Jones. So, do the Cardinals, I mean, sure, a thorn in our side, but I don't think they're threatening for the division next year.
And there's nothing to fear from the Cardinals.
They might hang around for a little bit.
Sorry, they still have while they have Kyler Murray, I do not fear the Cardinals. They'll be annoying as shit, but I don't fear them in any sort of way.
They're like they're the team that they could beat us.
Yeah.
They swept us this year.
But they shouldn't.
I'm sorry. I still like to say you play us again. That fluke ass shit to Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't happen, and we win that ball game.
Yeah.
You feel me? That was clearly that was karma. That was the world balancing out from the fluke to Ayuk. The fact that Marvin Harrison Jr. caught that pass, but and we blew a 23-3 lead.
And how often is Kyler Murray going to get that 70-yard touchdown? You know what I mean? How many times is he going to run through 19 tackles? Kind of a bullshit.
Look. There is you will see me blow a gasket because there is no way in hell we should blow a 20-point lead with Robert Saleh as our D coordinator next year. That's one thing I'm confident in. The Niners are not pulling a 20-point lead. The Yams got better.
Ravens did get better.
I'm not gonna lie, they got better. So you say us and the Yams as legit contenders? Yeah. I think maybe if you remove your Niner hat maybe you say the Yams are a favorite,
because of Stafford.
you know, on
I would
paper right
yes,
now.
because of Stafford.
Staff. Yeah, and everything like that. And look, I'm real quick. Last thing I want to get to Brock, but yeah, they're the threat. They're the threat for us on for the division next year. It's us and them so far on paper. We'll see how the draft turns out. What did I say I wanted to get to? I literally just.
I mean, I know what it is.
What? Oh yeah. The last player that the Seahawks have signed, one Mr. Samuel Darnold. Jason, take it away. I've just put myself away from the mic.
You have no
I'll let
idea.
Jason do it.
One, I laughed my ass off because I thought that was fucking funny as hell. Two, the amount of people here in Seattle who are just fucking flipping out because they think it's as bad as an idea as I do. It's been great to watch. Like, everybody is just, they think it's, there's a few people who obviously they're trying to be, optimistic. But even everybody here, they're like, that's the worst draft pick, He probably already sees ghosts of Nick Bosa coming at him, all this other crap.
I just good player on the Bulls and
exactly.
know they have to younger and faster. We were literally, it's a young man's game, and we were the oldest team in football.
And the slowest. He's slowest team in football.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So getting to Brock's contract, I did not expect it to be done. I didn't expect the contract to be done today. I did not expect done before free agency and everything like that. Yet again, I understand people, how people are going to feel about this, but Grant did bring up another good point where he said, what if it's not a commitment to Brock issue? Because if it's what people think it is and it's a cash problem, like we don't have the cash to pay Brock, why the fuck are you buying Rangers FC?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think it's a cash issue. What if it's not even a Brock issue? What if it's a commitment to Kyle and John?
Yeah, I think that's because do you want to, say in the next 2 years, this thing just goes completely sideways and we decide to move on from Kyle and or John. Do you really want, and this is like the problem with like the Bears. The Bears are one of the reasons why the Bears have had issues for the last 25 plus years. They're going to bring in a new head coach. That head coach is trying to make it work with the quarterback that they picked in the top 5 that he did not choose, that does not fit their system. So they've got to crash. They've got to crash it again to pick another quarterback in the top 5. But then they're not given the amount of time to rebuild with said quarterback, and you start the process all over again. So, do you want to hamper? If we, if it crashes out in 2 years and we go away from Kyle, do you want to hamper the next head coach, the quarterback he may or may not want?
Oh, just real quick, this popped up. Thanks, Joseph Lamar shared this to the NFR Facebook group. It said, Cam Inman, it's not a rebuild when you have some of the best players in the NFL getting paid like they're the best. I mean, okay, let's do it. Let's do this. Go ahead. Say finish what you were saying.
That was it. That was my spiel.
Yeah. I mean, the worst thing that the Niners could do in the future, if indeed, let's say 2-3 years from now, because let's be real, it's going to be at least a 3-year commitment to Brock.
Most likely. And even, honestly, even if
so you got
3 years, I'd be surprised, honestly.
26, 27, 28, which means that Kyle would officially be here 10 years.
Yeah.
Now, let's take this back a few years. We all know that there was a reason when they casually let it slip out that Kyle and John had signed extensions, or that Kyle had, before the Pittsburgh game. Everybody and their mother said the reason that there was a reason why they didn't give the amount of years of that extension.
Yeah.
It was purposely done. Okay. And so the worst thing for the Niners to do is, like you said, if they decide to tear this motherfucker down in a couple years and clean house, the worst thing that they could do is be holding to a quarterback that the coach did not pick.
This team gets stuck. They get stuck in those loops all the time. It's hard to get out of it.
When you hear, and the rumor has always been, and we haven't had to deal with this in so long because we haven't had to hire a GM or a coach in so long, is that the Niners, once they start to think about getting rid of you, they isolate you. And it's pretty clear Kyle's got less power.
I just don't think he has less power as far as them throwing out that extra cash to sign somebody.
I agree. Okay. I will say this. If the situation, if the Trent Williams situation, when he first became a free agent and was about to go to Kansas City, and basically we all know, he called Kyle and said, he literally said, I called Kyle, said, I'm going to dinner. When I leave dinner, I'm making my decision. So either you match it or beat it or whatever, or I'm basically going to Kansas City. And it was Kyle, because the Niners were out. They were not going to match Kansas City.
Yeah.
And it was Kyle that made the decision and said, no, we're signing Trent. If that situation happens now, I think Trent leaves to Kansas City.
Probably.
I think BA is not on. If the situation, and I think where it really started to boil over was the BA situation. If that situation happened now, BA's on Cleveland, and Amari Cooper and a second round pick are on their way.
I agree.
It was Kyle, and so fine, whatever that power means. That sounds like a move where you're starting to isolate. And I'm not saying that they've made the decision, but if it's very clear, they're starting to imagine a world without at least Kyle Shanahan. They're starting to imagine that world. And so, what if the big issue with Brock's contract is not years, it's not an amount of money, it's just simply, I don't know if I'm going to be committed to this coach for the next 5 years. Last thing, Josh Allen contract hurt or helped Brock?
I don't know. I haven't looked too deep into it, to be perfectly honest with you. I know
55 a year.
Probably hurts him then. But he also came
I'll tell
out
you
and
one
said that
thing,
he
Brock
gave
ain't
up.
getting 60.
He also I do know the one thing I know about it is that he did say that he gave up money so that they can go after other people. So I've seen that aspect of it.
Awesome. Smart man, Josh Allen. But I'm not giving Brock more than Josh Allen's getting paid.
I wouldn't either.
So this idea of Brock getting $60 million a year, in my opinion, just went out the window.
I mean, it depends on what's the APY, the years, all what I mean. It could be a
Garrett. Now, where I think it helps Brock, you're talking $250 million guaranteed, brother. That's what I heard. It's $250 fully guaranteed.
It all depends on exactly how much and how long the contract is for Brock too, compared to what Allen had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's ways of it still being 60 and all that kind of stuff. We'll see.
But the idea of what I've heard is that don't expect it done until basically at least after the draft. And I don't.
Yeah, I would prefer that it be done before the draft, but at this point, it's I would have
We'll
loved
see.
to have it done by now, but like I said, what are we going to do at this point? It doesn't seem to be moving as fast as we had all hoped it would.
Yeah, it didn't seem to slam. Like, look, everybody's kind of brushed over this and everything like that, and maybe I'm tripping, but it kind of sounded like John Lynch said there's no guarantee. Like, matter of fact, it didn't sound like he said there's no guarantee it gets done. Just saying. And that kind of seemed like a different tone than when they were giving their end of the year press conference.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Stick around. I'm going to go ahead and get up out here. Final thoughts?
I'd like the move. I'm hoping that it's more of a special team centric move, like a lot of these guys have played, and we can start singing the Tony Montana song for special teams, and that the special teams becomes something that we count on to put us in good positions, instead of basically don't mess this up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely feel, because one of the things I said when we hired Brian Boyer, our new special teams coach, is I said, look, it doesn't matter who the fuck we want. If Kyle's not going to let him coach and say, hey, this, and coach the special teams and be in charge of the special teams, it's not going to fucking matter. This seems to be like this is changing.
Yeah.
Which on the surface, because the problem has never been them not investing in special teams. They invest in special teams. It's the attitude, like you said, Jason. Special teams is just here not to fuck shit up. That kind of attitude. All right, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and run about this shit, and then I'll be back.
Five times, love. One love, faithful.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. I mean, that's all a possibility, but I'm not banking on that, Miss Teresa. I'm not banking on them finding a better. Always. What's cracking, Mr. Tony? What's up, brother? Yeah, always, bro. My attitude isn't as bleak as a lot of other people's. I don't think this is a quote unquote rebuild season. Maybe a little bit of a retool, definitely, but not a rebuild. We ran long today. We shall be back on Tuesday. I mean, Jason might be doing something. Jason, you doing something Friday? Yay? Nay? I don't know if you can hear me. Jason said no. Or yay? Okay. Jason's doing something Friday, so he'll be back Friday and everything. I'll be back Tuesday. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure to support the fans sponsors by clicking links in the description. We also, next week, will be having NFL Shop and Fanatics added to the sponsor list. So you'll be able to shop more than the Niners. Thank you, Miss Teresa. We appreciate you. Welcome back. Hope to see y'all next week. Till then, faith, love, and happiness.